Test now. Testing. Test. I guess it is. Ken, can you hear us?
Ken Smith.
Take your call now. At the tone, please record your message.
Can you hear us, Ken? Guess not. Well,
Well, do we have quorum without him?
Yeah.
Yep, we do.
Okay,
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we've got all these votes.
Yeah.
okay, the next item, anybody here wishing to address the Harbor Committee? I don't see anybody.
Nope.
All right, I think next is the Harbor Masters report. So Dylan has submitted a written report. Do you mind if we just dispense with that first? Sure. Okay.
We asked,
Do you want me to report, or do you wanna go with, no, you do Dylan?
which do you want first, Earl's or Dylan's?
Dylan.
Okay, yeah,
He wanted me to read it out loud.
okay.
Okay. Good evening, all. I patched a superficial piece of 4-inch by 8-inch decking on the pier at the turn of the top of the east incline where it meets the pier at Grindle Point. It is non-structural, but was a place where fishing gear could hang up while being dragged onto or off the incline. I used pressure-treated lumber and galvanized nails. I posted a wind advisory for Friday board, and I believe the town office sent out a notice. I also asked that people remove their unused dinghies from Seal Harbor as the finger floats are coming out around November 1st. Most dinghies are out for the season. There are a couple that are untended, and I plan to contact the owners and suggest they haul. The fishermen, boatyards, and Quicksilver boats are on and off the floats regularly, but no one is lingering much without permission that I have seen. I plan to buy a housing for the fire extinguisher as well as a new fire extinguisher for the pier, around $100. A well-intended summer person contacted Town Moorings on our behalf to inquire about the cost. Town Moorings responded to both of us that the subscription cost has risen to about $1,250 per year, $1,250 per year. This is an increase of about $950 since it was first brought up in the spring. My concern is the cost is going to continue to increase as time goes by. I suggest buying a 1-year subscription to the program on a trial basis so that, number one, harbor masters have a program in which to input mooring coordinates. Number two, the town can begin the process of documenting the mooring fields and decide if we want to implement a fee structure to raise additional funds for our harbor maintenance. We will have a groundwork of data to do so. The float system and pier appear in good repair at this time. Thank you. Sorry to miss this meeting, Dylan.
Thank you, Barry.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I've got a couple things. One, cables. You know, we have cable crossings coming to the island, and we had an issue with the proximity of Darrell Crate's moorings to the main power cable that comes to the island. So I spoke with his captain over there and requested that they get a diver down to, first off, to mark the actual location of the cables so we can see the proximity of the moorings.
Yeah.
Because there were never moorings there like this in the past. And they did. We found 2 of the moorings were much too close. So I went over my boat a couple times and requested they move 2 of them, which they did do. And over the last several years, I've had to chase scald draggers away that have been dragging over it. It's not marked on the chart, the NOAA charts, and it should have been. So I contacted NOAA as well as the caretaker over there. And we had a good dialogue going with NOAA. I went over and took coordinates both in the water and on land and submitted them to NOAA. And everything was kind of going along, and then the government shutdown happened. So it's gone dark since then. So I think that division of NOAA has been furloughed. So hopefully I don't have to keep chasing skull dragger. While I was there between Nancy and Darrow Crate, where you see that flat where the that marshy area there,
That's the big cable, but
the big cable.
yeah, I know that.
No, the one from, it comes, if you go to, the end of Hermit's Point, you know, the like, almost like the causeway that goes out to it.
Yeah,
At the beginning of that causeway, you'll see a transformer there, up on the water side, the west side. And I actually had to track it down where the cable actually came onto the beach, and I did find it.
Yeah.
And located it and took the coordinates from that. It's a cable about this big.
is it shielded?
It's shielded, but it's not as much as I would have thought. Nothing like the primary cable that comes to the island, which is huge, shielded. But the cable's about like this, hard black rubber, goes down across the beach under mostly underneath things, and it goes underwater and comes up south of the dock on Seal Harbor, on Seal Island, about 100 feet or so, 150 feet, comes up and goes up through. There were signs at one time, and a few years ago I refastened the sign on the Islesboro side, and I asked them to put a sign up. The owner didn't like the sign over there, but the caretaker got one anyway, and then both signs have now disappeared. I can see the screws where the screws had held them up, but it's his private power source. It's not like it's going to affect us, I don't believe, if that got ripped out. I don't think it would distort the island's power, would it?
No.
He would lose power.
Yeah, he was the power.
And I don't know what danger there would be. I guess the transformer would.
Yeah, the transformer.
Shut it off.
They would shut it off.
But I'll keep pursuing it if the government opens up again. So. Anyway, so that's that. Most of the dinghies, we had a fairly quiet summer at Seal Harbor. There was no real bad problems. Had to chase a few people off the docks time to time. As Dylan said, the floats are gonna be coming out soon, the dinghy floats. We've got one dinghy there that I don't know whose it is. A blue beat up one I'm just gonna put up in the parking lot. I'll take the tractor down and put it on, lift it up and just flip it. I don't know whose it is. I've been trying to find out. And we've had a few. We had a few things we had to tow in that came adrift and so on, just routine. Around the island, we've got an inflatable that had come up on the east side that we've hauled up, that we contacted the Coast Guard, various harbor masters. No one's contacted it, so I'm just gonna keep it over there. Use it. Someone comes along, great. It wasn't in fantastic shape. It doesn't have a motor. But anyway, do you want me to continue right with this?
Well, let's just say that we accept your report and now we can move on to the next thing.
Okay.
Okay,
So
thank you.
Tom Fowler is we hired to do the engineering for our dock. The first people we contacted from another firm, the estimate came back between $38,000 and $41,000 just for the engineering. So we rejected it. And shopped around a bit. Tom Fowler came back with an estimate of 25 to 27,000, which was a lot less money. And he is working with another structural design firm as well. So they've been over a couple of times. They did the elevations. I met with them both times. What they're proposing, what that seems to be the most reasonable, cost-effective dock would be aluminum pre-made sections. Now there's two different types you see here. One has the one photograph shows the bracing being tubular and triangles. The other one shows a longer arch section, the bigger photograph. But we can get estimates on these. What they're proposing is that this would be 2 feet higher than the present one. After that storm we had 2 years ago, the walkway was actually at one point in the water.
The decking was.
The decking was in water. And when we had those winter storms. And there was no wave back from there. It was just, that was the rise again. So this is over 2 feet higher. And that's the recommended height increase they're using now because of these storms. And the ramp that we put on there, the longer ramp, which is 50 feet, keeps it at a reasonable incline. You know, it's still within the specs for our incline. They're proposing wooden pilings. The high rated pressure treated wooden pilings with 44 pilings towards the end and another 4 further in. Well, you can see the drawing here. They're basically a 40-foot span, aluminum spans, which is reasonable. I think the advantage of this would be it could be done relatively quickly, so we wouldn't be out of service for long. This would probably be our quickest dock to be, because the sections would be pre-made. The longest part would be just pinning it down. We have the landing that Paul Grindle had put in based on Tom Fowler's design number of years ago when we were having problems. And they can utilize that with a little bit of additional work, you know, as the ground support for where they go up and out.
Yeah.
It would be the same footprint as the existing one, so it would be permit by rule. Being a 4-foot wide walkway. If we deviate from that and go with a full permit, it's going to be more expensive and time consuming. So if we can stay within it'll be a change in elevation, but they'll still allow that under permit by rule. So we had asked him to get something that we can start getting estimates for. And if the committee feels comfortable with this basic design, then he can narrow it down a little firmer for sending out to get actual estimates so we can start looking at our funding. Ken had talked about possibly a 50-50 grant, you know, that we want to continue to look at. The monies that had been donated almost 3 years ago now for the recreational one that we were gonna build, that was turned down by our planning board, is still there. I've contacted all but one of the parties now, and if that could be repurposed. So we have 3 days ago, we just got an okay for one of the $20,000 donations that we can put towards this. And there was another $2,500 donation that was, and numerous smaller ones that have all been okayed for us to transfer for this project. There's one final $20,000 one that we're still pursuing that I believe we'll be able to get. I just gotta, I'm having a hard time getting in touch with the party, but I'm pursuing it and hopefully we'll have that. So with the $36,000, I think that we have, if we can get all this money together, we'd be getting pretty close to having enough, hopefully, for a 50-50 match. So that's what we need to see before the budget, our next budget cycle, to see what the town would have to appropriate. So that's kind of where it stands. I mean, it's holding up okay, but it's not great. You know, the walkway, the rails are not proper height. Town insurance company has given us a buy temporarily because we've said we are in the process of getting a new one. They did look at it, and the rails are too low. The decking is, we keep having to re-screw it down. We have the steel carriers and the legs, there's a lot of rust, it's getting worse. So anyway, so that's the state. So the next step would be, if people are comfortable with this type of a dock, then we would get a package from Tom Fowler that we could start getting estimates on. So
This isn't enough?
Hmm?
This isn't enough?
Yeah, really.
there might have to be some more specs on it. I'm not sure if there's enough here. There may be, see, what. Now, that engineering firm, PEC, I think they're called, did spec out the aluminum, but
Who makes these?
I don't know, not sure who's making this one. This one was a picture that Josh had done somewhere, and I don't know who had made that. It's more attractive probably than the other design.
That looks like Dockwood.
Huh?
That looks like Jim. Dockwood.
Yeah, but I don't think they're doing it anymore.
No, I don't think so either.
No, they're not doing it. Someone is, I've seen more of them around. The beauty of this would be the maintenance. With the aluminum, it's, I mean, the one in Bounty Cove has been there for almost going on, not far from 40 years. The one down in the harbor that's been there, gosh, I think pretty near that long. And they're just like they were put out. They're fine. So very low maintenance. The other thing about them that is nice is they don't have as much windage, because if you use timber support, it has to be quite deep. So you would have more lateral, you know, and heavy wind gusts or something, extreme storms, like if you get these prongs, like 80-90 mile an hour gusts coming, you get a harmonic. These tend to be, the air flows by them much easier. They don't have the depth. And they don't rust. Steel, no matter what we do with steel, eventually we're gonna have to do maintenance. So I'm kind of a fan of the aluminum. From what I've seen around the bay, it seems to hold up very well. Most of the use in Seal Harbor is recreation. It's limited commercial, very limited.
Earl? Earl?
I can't hear us.
Yeah.
Uh,
You,
Have
you
a,
hear us, Ken?
have a question about the proposed bulkhead. How far is it from the existing bulkhead?
The elevation or it would come over the existing bulkhead, and extend a little bit further. It would extend a little further than the existing bulkhead.
Okay, so roughly how many feet from,
It's between 119 and 120 feet. It's the length.
no,
of
no,
that.
no, the question is, how far is the bulkhead, the existing bulkhead, to the new one?
It's in the same
It'd
place.
be the same bulkhead.
No, it's not gonna be the same bulkhead. It's
Um,
gonna be a lot bigger, a lot taller too.
yeah, well, they would build up, my understanding when I talked to Tom was they would build up from that existing one. But using the same structure, that's all in very good shape.
So they ain't gonna move it further to the south?
No, the dock would be in the same exact location.
Okay, well, but it's gonna be 2 feet higher.
Right,
Right.
right.
Okay,
See, now when you come down from the parking lot, you're actually walking downhill to get to it.
okay. Conceptually, I think looks really good. Uh, but how about, how would we bid this? Is
If
it,
we,
there's a wood involved, there's buying aluminum. So how would we put it out to people to bid on?
Tom would prepare a bid package that we would put out to the various companies that do this. And then just see what they come back with.
Okay, how long would it take for him to do that?
I think fairly quickly at this point. The bulk of the engineering is done.
Okay. And if we're gonna write a grant, we need to have the details for what it was that will be in
Right.
it.
Right,
Okay, super,
yep,
thank you.
yep. Now the permits here would be fairly simple because it would be a permit by rule. So it shouldn't be long at all about getting our permits. Because we're replacing an existing structure, only changes our elevation. So,
That would still go through the planning board though,
That's
right?
what I'm thinking, yeah, because you're not going apples to apples. You're changing the steel to rock, according to this picture.
do what now?
You're changing the steel right there to rock?
No,
We have steel.
no, that's a representative picture. That's not the exact, that's not a picture of this.
Okay, so you're.
No,
changing-
use these drawings.
You're changing the steel with steel,
We're with wood,
oh, with wood.
with wood pilings.
Yeah, well, right now it's steel,
It's
so
steel.
it's not apples to apples.
Yeah, but does that have to go through the planning board?
I would think it would, cause we have to check it all out.
Huh. Yeah.
What is your definition of, by rule or whatever?
Permit by rule is a 14-day permit if you're not, if you meet certain requirements that are laid out by the state. Then, for example, biologics like eelgrass. Or you can't exceed 300 square feet of bottom coverage, or riparian lines from the shore. But there are none of those things. I mean, we're within the guidelines of every one of those things.
Right,
So-
so what would the Army Corps of Engineers, don't they have to look at this too?
Yeah,
So that's why I think it would.
Yeah, it all
would go
comes,
through the-
yeah, it could. It all comes under the permit by rule from the state.
Are you using the same footprints for the pilings too?
I don't know. I mean, pretty close. Yeah, I mean, they have to find ledge where they attach. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't think it would be a,
It would be, I think it would be different, but it could be similar there, but all the steel's coming out and you're putting in wood.
yeah, right.
So if the wood's gonna be, you're gonna have more wood than you are steel there, so.
And
it
then
has
you
to
won't
be-
have any steel,
Right,
right?
You might have steel. You might have something on the
At the
bottom.
cup, you might have a cup, but the, actually, where you bolt down, there might be J bolts or pins, and you might have, steel angle on the base of the,
wood, yeah.
tile, yeah. I mean, the planning, I don't think, I can't imagine planning board would have any problem with this, it's a standard.
No, they would just look and see that all the permissions
Sure,
are there
yeah,
and do a site review and that's it.
yeah. And
So
and
they
it
would
goes,
be good
it
to
has
go.
to go to the harbor master as well
Right,
to say. But that's all fairly quick.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's,
they hate to use the word, but it's like grandfather.
yeah,
So it would be very simple.
yep.
Why do you object to grandfather?
They don't like that in the planning
It's
board.
Bill Shoppy, he doesn't like that word. He likes to use pre-existing.
Yeah.
Just-
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't see any issue, but we would have the submittal package that,
Right, yeah,
right,
but it would be 27,000 just to get the permit to bid on it. And then whatever the bid comes in, which would probably 100 grand.
yeah, we paid already the payment on the engineering.
Pay 27 already.
We haven't paid the full, I think we paid, I don't remember how that works, we paid initially a certain amount up
Yeah.
front, but we okayed that.
Yeah.
To be done. But we don't know what the thing is gonna come in at, it might be 150,000, we just don't know.
Well,
That's
that's
what we
like
have.
aluminum, yeah.
But the labor is much less quick.
Yeah, when you've got a 40-foot pier section to put on
Yeah.
top, with the equipment people have, they just pick it up and plop it on there.
Yeah, I know.
bolt it
Build
in.
it down.
Um,
Cause we wouldn't want to, it's a year-round dock that's used year-round. And services Seal Island, emergencies, whatever.
Well, you know that dock that we put in by Northeast Point? For that
Yeah,
house? I mean,
That
that's
was-
aluminum, right? Attached to granite,
I don't know, is that aluminum?
Do
it
you,
looks like it to me.
do you
Could
mean
be,
the
I'm not
Solendes?
sure.
Yeah, right before the Northeast Point, that newest dock. that
Oh,
we
that-
put in.
yeah.
Solendes.
Solendes.
Bounty Cove,
So,
Bounty Cove,
Oh, I don't know what that is.
yeah,
That's granite.
but it's granite
Yeah,
supports, but I think
Yeah,
it's,
But
probably,
granite would be more than
oh, it'd
wood
be
pilings,
a lot more,
cause that's nice.
yeah.
it is nice.
Yeah, it would cost, they've spent it with the bulkheading, they've
Yeah.
had a fortune there,
Yeah,
money's no
I
issue.
can't remember how much that cost, but yeah,
Oh, it was hundreds of thousands,
yeah.
yeah, that's nice.
So this wood pilings, that wouldn't last forever either.
Well, what the treatments they're using now last a long time. It's not like the old pressure treated. I mean, it's a lot longer than steel would last. We've had to replace the bases of the ones that are there now already. We've had to weld new sections underneath. They
Right.
rusted out.
Well, in my defense, I think, if they use steel and they use the right painting of it, like the epoxy paint, that steel's gonna last pretty long itself.
Quite a while, but it's surprising how. The other option with steel is you get it galvanized, but that's big money. For this
Well,
big.
Galvanized isn't that much more than that. I used to sell galvanized a lot, but still. Galvanized isn't that much more expensive than regular steel.
Hmm.
But you would wanna use galvanized,
Yeah,
but then I would still think anything you put in the ground there, it's gotta be coated with something
yeah.
to help. From it being,
What's been damaging is well, it gets impacted with things in the water. And if we get ice in the winter, the ice hits it and it breaks the coating up on the steel.
Yeah.
That's what repeatedly happened. we did coat them down there at
Yeah.
one point, and it didn't last. You have to sandblast it, and if you sandblast now, you have to skirt it, I mean, it becomes over the water, you can't.
You know, you can't keep anything in the water.
No, it becomes very expensive,
Yeah,
so. People are trying to get away from using the steel for the
yeah.
uprights
And
a lot.
that existing, full ramp, that's all steel or is it aluminum?
Aluminum, everything aluminum.
Yeah, and all that aluminum's not worth saving and using?
Well, we're gonna use the same ramp.
Right, that, but I mean the other part.
Oh, no, that's all steel.
Okay,
And that's rusting, that's starting to penetrate now, it's scaled through. It has nailers on the top for the boards to go,
yeah,
and that's given up, I mean, it's not holding fastening as well. And the railing is, I've been down there with GRK screws, I keep sticking more in,
yeah,
but it's getting pretty bad.
yeah. Well, I say get the bidding folder or whatever. And we look at it again and then go from there.
Everyone feel comfortable with that approach?
Yeah,
Yeah, but we have to know what the specs are. We have, I mean, there's two
Well,
things.
yeah, we know,
Well, it would be on, I don't know why you need to know that. If you get the bidding package, it'll all be there. And if you look at these two, there's measurements already on it. This one here, the last page, there's one is 40 sections, like you said, split up in 40-foot sections.
right,
Well, what I'm trying to get at, is that this section here
Yeah,
is something that I would prefer over these tubes.
yeah. Well, according to this last page, it looks like it's 40-foot.
Yeah, that's right, but it's, the composition of these, the material used is different in this photograph.
Well, that's where I think, correct me if I'm wrong, when you go to get the bid package, you're gonna tell them what kind you want.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
How about that?
So,
Yeah, I agree with you.
yeah, these were representative pictures, you
Yeah,
said, just for existing ones, but, the regular bid specs will be more detailed as to the aluminum, the spec of aluminum, the grade of aluminum.
But the design like he wants, you could have different designs and if they came up with more than one or something, we'd have to vote on it, that's all.
Right. So, the basic thing we have to determine tonight is, are we happy going with the aluminum sections?
Right, yeah,
If we are, then they'll give us a great deal, we can call a special meeting. Just to okay it if everyone's in agreement.
Yep.
I think our time situation is we definitely want to get some stuff out so we can get some figures. So we can have it well prior to, and get bids in, so before budgeting, so we know
that's March,
what we're looking at. But it might take some time to get some bids.
yeah. When is budgeting, March or May?
March.
Mark,
Yeah.
it's taken a long time to get this. I mean, everybody is so busy. And, it's been surprising to,
And you'll want to make a recommendation to the select board well before budgeting season.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so. And as Ken said, going, each year, these grants come up. And if we can get in on a grant, it would be fantastic.
Well, who's our grant writer?
Well, look, I know Ken's been looking into it, but,
Yeah. No, I can't write.
yeah, but I mean, I think we can all. If something becomes available, I think there's what's that called? Was it the ship grant?
Yeah, Ken was talking. about
Yeah,
it.
Ken, I think it was the ship grant that Ken had talked about.
Mhm.
And we weren't ready this year. But we did write a letter telling that was submitted,
Yeah,
went to Janet. That we were looking for, we had to replace this dock It's primarily recreation. And we kind of wrote it according to what the grant is based on, so it would maybe help. So,
Well, we had to get the bid package first before
Yeah.
we know how much we're
well,
gonna
I
have.
can pursue that pretty hard and see if we get that sooner than later. I think that would be the thing to do, and I
You do
do,
that through Tom.
Tom,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
could you,
and I would like to,
could you
get more details.
specify these? Have him specify these?
I guess, I'm not sure, that's one that, Islesboro Marine he got the photo from, now I don't know who built that.
Right, but
I mean,
he might.
Huh?
He might.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
And the other thing that I think is important to mention to Tom is that because the situation at Seal Harbor where the dock is, that's all ledge.
Yeah.
The pilings can't be driven.
no, he knows
So,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, he knows they have to be pinned. Yeah, we went right down on the beach there and looked at the legs of the existing.
Yeah.
Poked and prodded, and then another group came out, took very exacting elevations, actually been out, maybe it's 3 times they've been out now.
Okay,
But, and I would like to find out, on the apron. The bulkhead there, when Tom and I were there, we talked about just utilizing that because it's all in good shape, it's not old.
yeah,
Paul Grindle built it according to Tom's specs, he spec'd that out.
yeah,
And just to see what the, now that we have elevations, to find precisely what the difference will be there, because right now there's a slope. You know, you come to that bulkhead and then it goes down to the, you know, your walkout. So now we're gonna be changing that to this,
yeah, we're gonna have to go up a little bit.
going up, right?
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. I guess all up and down the coast where they're doing docks now, they're changing elevations based on this seawater rise. They're getting higher.
It rises 1.5 inches a year.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Does
Anyway,
anybody have an idea, an approximate estimate for what this will cost?
I haven't had any luck getting any, no one will commit until they get a bid package. You know, I think if we can get a bid package pretty quick, we can get some good figures. Do you know, Ken, when those ship grants? When those ship grants are renewed again, when they come out each year? You know, I don't think he can hear me.
I'm on the website right now. Deadlines, we have instituted an ongoing application process. Please contact Chris Mayo at this phone number anytime to discuss your proposed project.
Fantastic.
Okay,
Yeah, so I don't think they have certain timeframes,
okay,
just ongoing.
yeah, I think. I don't know legislatively how those come up and how they get renewed. So. Anyway, well, that's all I've got on this, and I will pursue this.
So next meeting we'll have the package.
Yeah, and maybe, I hope before then, I mean, I hope we can get a package and call a special meeting and talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
'cause I'd like to keep this moving.
all right. Thank you, Earl. You all set on that, Ken?
Yep.
All right. And now you have on your,
Yeah, selective hearing.
yeah, he does. You have on the agenda preliminary discussion for fiscal year. Next one coming up. Okay, go ahead, talk.
You're,
She's not hearing us.
yeah.
Ken, do you want to talk about the budget?
Well, yeah, what's important, we get some preliminary, we know this is one item that will be in the budget. That's why I wanted to get a rough idea of what that might cost. But also, just conceptually, large items. The committee members may have some ideas of things they would like to have done. So it's just a preliminary discussion.
Okay.
Well, we need that thing that Dylan's talking about, mapping out that. So that should be.
Well, this, yeah, what this is, it's, my understanding, it's a program that you.
Right, yeah.
And I'm not computer savvy enough to know, but it's basically a spreadsheet, I believe.
Yeah.
And I'm back and forth about it because I know it works well for a large, a large place like Falmouth or Newport or somewhere.
Well,
I'm not
like
sure how
for years-
appropriate it is for
For
small
years, you've been
place.
trying to get mooring charges, and this program would probably be great to sell that. And then we would know where every one of them are,
Right.
and we could send out something to every one of them saying, hey, you owe us $25 now. Or something, whatever it's gonna be.
But I think that what we've really got to look hard at is if the administrative cost of doing it is gonna cost more than what we're gonna recoup from it.
Well, that's where you have to add your price to each mooring to double that or go even with it, whatever it is.
It's, I went around this year and took ordinance for almost all moorings. I don't have it quite done yet, but I've got the bulk of it done.
Then we don't need this, then we pay you and.
Well,
it's yours.
I'm not putting it on there. But we have, and some of them we have to put names on, but it will be a hot potato issue. I can guarantee it.
Oh, yeah,
It's
it did
not gonna
last
be-
time.
Yeah. We have to, what's in the harbor, like there'll be a line where, one mooring right here won't be paying, this guy will be paying, because of the
Well,
harbor
it
lines.
would have to be for the whole island then.
And that's where we're gonna have the cost. If we bring in an outfit to do it, it's gonna cost a lot of money.
I think that's what.
See, most
that's
harbors,
1200.
most harbors now. Mooring fees are in the hundreds of dollars. I mean, south of here, some of the places are, well, George knows. I mean, a mooring in Newport, Rhode Island, $6,000 a season. A season.
Well, we're missing out on a lot of money, huh?
Yeah, how do you think that will go over? I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
We'd get that dock paid off early.
right, some of the towns along here, we tried to bring it up about, I don't know, what was it, 4 years ago, 5 years ago? I can't remember wherever it was, maybe it was longer. And it was a firestorm of, we had Acre Island. The boatyard over there came back really hard, said, we pay taxes. This is unfair, we don't get much for our taxes, we this, and then you had people around the other parts of the island saying, what are you doing for this? And we tried to say the argument, well, you have the use of the town facilities, so they said, well, we have our own dock. And we pay taxes on it. We don't use the town facilities, why are we paying this? And we got that a lot, and from some of the people that pay $70,000-80,000 a year in taxes. But it became a hot button item for those people. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to get caught in the middle of this shit show. I was once, and it was no fun.
I think there's some other things to think about. One is the fact that Islesboro is a very expensive island. The valuation last year was what, roughly $650 million. So if you were to charge, let's just suppose we have 150 moorings in the mooring fields. If you charge them $100 per mooring, that's 150,000. 150,000 isn't going to make a big difference with the valuation as high, and next year it will be a lot higher. So it sounds great, but the
Yeah, the reality, if you have a big town with a full-time harbor master, big office, all the different things that go with it, with hundreds of moorings where you're charging more, it's one thing. But we're different. You know, we're trying to put a square peg in a round hole here a little bit, and I'm just not sure it's the right way to go.
Yeah, I mean, if you put that stuff into a spreadsheet and you feed it into ChatGPT, it'll fire off those emails and ask for payment. You know, pretty straightforward. It'll say,
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty brainless work. I don't know if you need to pay $1,200 now or, you know, potentially $2,400. It seems to double every year so
Yeah.
far. And I think that, you know, once we start getting into the $3,000 range for our software to manage 150 moorings, it seems a little excessive.
Yeah, I mean, right now we have 40, we're about 120 moorings maybe within the fields. And I think we'd have to do a cost benefit analysis to say, is it worth it? And if we talk about going completely around the island, it is going to be a major, we'll have to go back to the town, we'll have to change the ordinance. It's not going to be a simple thing. I guess that's what I'm saying. It's going to become it's going to be controversial.
Well, as your
We've been there
taxpayer
before.
argument, there's a lot more homeowners on the island that are paying. We have to come up with this grant now, that's half of that's gonna be taxpayers.
Yeah.
So a lot of us homeowners don't even do anything on the ocean.
Right.
So we have to pay a lot just for a handful of people.
But
Well,
on the other
I think
hand,
more than a handful.
Right, yeah.
Well,
yeah, no, I know these are all arguments we made before.
yeah,
But then, you know, if you're taking off an emergency with Quicksilver or anything else, you're using town facilities.
Yeah.
Or when you get certain materials over here, if you know, barges come over. I mean, we're an island, we're different.
we're different, but we shouldn't have to make all of us pay for it.
Yeah, well, it's like school. It's like certain things, we all have to pay. Maybe you don't use the health center, but we're all gonna be paid for it.
Well, I did, I flew in a helicopter before.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, there's certain things that we just have to. we all have to pay for.
However, I think there's another issue there. It's just general maintenance. We own, the town owns 2 mooring fields, and they should be able to tell us who owns the moorings.
Yeah,
They should, and so all we're missing is the coordinates for very few. It's just inconceivable. We've gone 2 years without having that basic information, which was originally available. So from a maintenance point of view, working with the boat yards, I think they would love to have something out that's concrete, it's uniform. And if you have a change in ownership, it may affect one mooring one group or another group. So having it as an automated data processing issue, uh, I don't think it's a huge amount of money, but it is something just from a town maintenance. They've got to know.
At the April meeting, I
Yeah.
believe. And there was, yeah. There was a man, a representative from Town Moorings who kind of showed an example of how it works. And the town records these meetings and they're on the town YouTube channel. So I would recommend going to the town website, click on that YouTube icon and look at the Harbor Committee meetings and go to April 17th, and there's a demonstration of the software and all that it can do.
Right.
So
Probably
it's,
discussed the price at that time too, because it was a lot cheaper than.
But it's not gonna
what it is
auto
now.
update who owns the moorings. That still has to be done
it
manually.
has to be
New
entered.
notifications
Right.
have to be.
Yeah, they're not
made
doing the ordinance or any of the other stuff.
Yeah.
They're just,
No.
they're just
So
giving
there's
us a
still a lot of
bureaucratic
manual legwork involved.
spreadsheet.
But
basically.
once
On
it's
updating and
in
maintaining.
there, it's pretty much automated. And yeah, it's more than just a spreadsheet.
But don't we have to subscribe every year?
Yeah, but I think if you get in at a certain rate, you keep that rate.
Right.
I'm not quite
Yeah, it
sure.
was, to me, I thought it was pretty cheap at the time.
Mhm.
We should have got in then, but
Yeah.
now since we haven't, the price goes up like anything else every year. But if we can get locked in at a lower price, then, but I'm sure you can probably haggle with them.
Yeah.
It's a non-starter if the town doesn't approve us charging for moorings anyway, right?
Right.
So that's
Right,
the
but then it's
first
just
hurdle.
money for no reason.
Yeah,
But we should have a database. I mean, I get
definitely.
Ken's point on
Yeah.
that. I talked to both boatyards, primary boatyards anyway, about doing something. PYY is fairly organized with their mooring database. I'm not sure how Islesboro Marines set theirs up at this point. I'm sure they've got a computer program, it must be on. So, I mean, all that is on databases at this point, and that's probably 95% of the moorings. Right there,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah,
That's
one
right.
other thing for people that don't use the town piers and stuff like that, the harbor master's still out there making sure derelict vessels aren't crashing into their moorings. They're out there making sure
Yeah.
things aren't washing
Right.
ashore on their property, so
Right,
I think there's still plenty of reason that they can pay a special additional fee for.
but anyone that has mooring, yeah, no, I'm not opposed to the idea of paying for the mooring, it's just that. I just know we went through before.
No, I know, I'm just trying to provide counter arguments.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was surprised that some of the people that objected to it, quite honestly. It was. A lot of the larger taxpayers. They made good points. Yeah, they
Let's
felt
go
like
back
they
to
didn't nickel
what-
dime.
Let's go back to what you said. Why can't we just write it ourselves?
Well, that's what I wondered.
yeah, I mean, to me, it's secondary to, I think, let's get the town to approve it and then
Yeah.
we'll figure out how to get it done, but
Yeah,
I mean.
because I mean, to pay.
It sounds like our biggest hurdle is getting everybody on.
Yeah, I
board.
mean, if we have to pay a subscription of like $900 a year for a database. We're pretty small potatoes here compared to most of the places where they make their money on the bigger places.
Yeah,
Because they make a percentage on every single bill that you send to a mooring. Once they do it.
but I mean, if it makes it easier for people to pay it, like, if it makes it easier on the town, so.
Yeah,
Tina's not burdened with more people coming in there to pay things, I mean, that,
right,
it does have a strong argument then.
right.
And obviously cost wise, but I think getting the town to approve it is really gonna be, like you said, if it was a hurdle last time, I don't think it's gonna get any easier, but.
Yeah.
Costs aren't going down
Yeah,
either
they're gonna have
anywhere.
a fishermen in there that are gonna give you one time.
Oh, yeah,
Well, we still need to get all of the information,
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And I guess that's,
yeah, I'm
That's
putting
up
it
to you.
together. I'm putting it together.
okay.
Then for our budget, we don't need any more docks this year. They all look good, they don't need no repair, I mean.
Well, I think the Seal Harbor one, if we don't put a new one in, there's some imminent repairs we're gonna have to do, but if we're putting a new one in, then no. We'll limp along.
Yeah.
We did put the new ramp up down there that we had for the recreational one that wasn't approved. We did have the money to buy a 50-foot ramp, that new ramp, and that now is at Seal Harbor, which is fine. And the floats down there are pretty good shape. We've got, there's always gonna be some dinghy float repairs that have to be done.
Yeah.
Last year we did quite a bit.
So what are we estimating that for a budget?
I don't know, I really haven't honed in on it. What I should do, Dylan and I together, should talk to Christian at PYY, because he's kind of the lead on that, and we talk to Josh about the dinghy floats down here. So we can come to the budget before the next meeting. We definitely should do that.
Yeah.
Get some ideas. And give a look at the all the different things at Grindle Point at the dock.
Yeah,
They did quite a bit of repair last year there,
yeah,
but
all those planks are holding them up pretty good.
I think so. I would like to get underneath and look at it from underneath.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we should. And Greg did a lot of electric work down there. They upgraded all the electrics.
Mhm.
That's been
Are
good.
those,
Yeah.
do you know anything about all that PVC pipe that's on the end of the pier?
Probably. Wait, is it stacked
No,
up or
it's
installed
white,
or
it's just stacked up. It's been there for a year and a half.
no?
It's not yours?
No, it's not mine. It's expensive stuff.
No, it's not that big diameter. Pretty small,
It's on the side there.
just on the end of the pier.
I'll have to look at it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not ours.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
free PVC.
Yeah, free PVC. And we'll all be after this meeting.
Yeah.
I know where I'm gonna be. I'll be the next 2 hours putting tarps to try to cover stuff before this rain tonight. That's what I was doing before I came down here. I gotta get some lights out. And there's a lot to do yet tonight.
Yeah.
I think we've completed what we're supposed to do,
Trying to get back.
When is our
except for
next,
making a decision on the mooring software, which,
If, so, Ken, when I get that information back from Tom Fowler, can we set a meeting up?
Yes,
point?
definitely.
Okay. I'll keep in touch then with you about that.
okay,
Yeah,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
thank you.
second.
Thanks, George.
Thank you, Karen. You better take off that. Blur, blur.